University of North Florida can't wait to get back in action as they've been waiting since last Saturday night, their first win a week ago against FIU, and now they look for an opportunity to get win number 2. Brett Martin along with Nancy Miller on a Saturday evening, and it's a local battle. UNF against Flagler College right down the road, of course, in St. Augustine.
The last time these two played, most of these guys weren't born yet. 2002 with UNF Ospreys with an overall 4-3 all-time edge.
All right, let's get right to it. We got the tip awaiting here on ESPN Plus here on a Saturday evening from Jacksonville, Florida. Brett Martineau, Nancy Miller, and it'll be UNF in their home whites and Flagler, the Saints, from right down the road in St. Augustine in the visiting black uniforms.
Ospreys starting up in that matchup 2-3 zone.
An early 3 off the mark by Marcus Hendrickson. And Jay Zaglati tries another one, and keep an eye on number 4. He can get going, played at University of Arkansas Little Rock, and now at Flagler.
A surprise start for Josh Endicott, who has been on the IR the last couple of weeks, back in the starting lineup for the Ospreys.
Yeah, Endicott battling an injury. Of course, Carter Hendrickson still not available for the University of North Florida Ospreys, statistically their best player. Ospreys had been shorthanded the last couple of times, but it's good to get Endicott back.
Endicott averages almost 9 points, but it's his stalwart presence in the paint. He's one of their bigger presences, leads them in rebounds at 6.8 rebounds a game.
And a week ago, UNF had a height advantage. They went inside, scored a lot of points in the paint. They could do something similar here tonight against Flagler. We'll see if they try to work it inside. Initially, they do to Jonathan Abar, the freshman, and he picks up an offensive foul. Abar coming off a really nice basketball game last week.
Well, and how fun was it for Jonathan Abar to, I think, break open the late tie with a top-of-the-key three, which is relatively rare for him.
Yeah, he was 1 for 11 going into that shot from three-point land, so he can drain it, but it was a big one at the time, and it helped the Ospreys to their first win of the year. Nice catch down there underneath by Jalen Barr. And then a jump ball. Ospreys will have it on the possession change.
Both of these teams love to shoot the long ball, with Flagler coming off their last game having shot 48 threes, so the Ospreys are really extending that zone defense beyond the arc.
Here's Placer now. He launches a 3, peels it off, and then drains the triple to get the scoring going here on a Saturday night. Placer from Orlando had a nice outing last Saturday as well, so keep an eye on number 15, the redshirt sophomore. There's Barr underneath. A lot of activity under there, and he's staying active. Barr misses a couple, though, and Abar comes away with it.
I really like the duo of Emmanuel Adedoyan and Jose Placer, that 1-2 combination. Both are ball handlers, can attack the rim, kick back out to the Euro.
Endicott had it, and then it's knocked away from him on the rebound as Placer misses. And, well, you bring up 2 important cogs to what is now a hopefully reloaded team for the Ospreys, but you go back, Dallas Moore and then Ivan Gandia-Rosa. They have to replace 7 years of spectacular point guard play, and Adedoyan and Placer are tasked with that.
Placer, having sat his year in residence last year, though, and had to go against Ivan Gandia-Rosa day in and day out. And I really like his game. I mean, it's shades of Gandia-Rosa, but he has a flair that I like about his game.
Metzger picks up his first foul. He's the biggest body for Flagler, and he gets foul number 1. There's Abar.
Ospreys utilizing the horn set and a pick and a pop.
Well, there's Abar again from downtown. So, hey, maybe it was the statistics that were off early on this season, and he is a three-point guy. A kick ball there, that will stay with Flagler. Flagler, Division II school, obviously out of the Peach Belt Conference, and interesting start to the year. They have loaded their schedule up with Division I competition. Some of those games exhibition games. Right. They have 2 games that have counted, and they got their biggest win maybe ever. Beat a Division I school in Central Michigan a couple weeks back. It was a monster win for Flagler College.
Monster win, and it was about a 20-point victory. So not a tight basketball game by any stretch of the imagination. They played FIU twice. Oh, and a nice dribble drive from Lati gets the and one.
Well, just to go back to that win for Flagler over Central Michigan, they had played Florida International, a team that the Ospreys just beat here last Saturday. And against FIU, they played really tough. As you see, Lati down there underneath the basket, able to get it in, now have an opportunity for a three-point play. So they almost stole a win against FIU down in South Florida. They come back, they beat Central Michigan. And since then, they've played a couple of exhibition games against Furman and South Alabama. And so they don't really count statistically, but Furman's very good from a mid-major standpoint. I think they were number 2 right behind Gonzaga.
That's right. He just pulled out. I watched a little bit of Gonzaga earlier this afternoon against Iowa, a 1-3.
Well, Flagler's fired up here. They get it done on the defensive end, a 6-3 game as the University of North Florida turns it over. And they've played some tough competition too, so the turnover numbers are up. They did a better job of that last Saturday night. And if you're going to turn it over, that's the way to turn it over. We always talk about the live ball turnover. At least that one went out of bounds.
Into one of the socially distanced seats. But Coach Driscoll and his staff don't shy away from considerably tough competition and Power 5 opponents to begin the year, every year of his tenure. And this year was very similar.
Oh, missed by Barr. He's really active underneath there. Just couldn't get it to go down. Jalen Barr, sophomore out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Back the other end. They're getting after it on defense right now are the Saints.
They'll play man, and they'll switch a lot of ball screens. They'll also play some zone.
Adedoyan has it. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Now at a dozen seconds.
It's going long opposite. Nice ball movement to the next pass.
Now Dorian James drives the lane. He gets it over Metzger for a couple.
2 consecutive floor reversals really opened up that drive for Dorian James.
That's pretty when it works. They love that ball movement.
Ospreys really extending beyond the arc against this dangerous Flagler Saints team.
We're 4 minutes in. It's 8-3. North Florida on top over Flagler. And there's Barr. Look at him drive the baseline. I mean, they're utilizing that baseline with number 23.
They are. They're really attacking the gaps of the zone against that spread Osprey defense, finding the seams and getting nice penetration and dish.
A lot of energy from the visitors. It wasn't a long trip, just about 20 minutes up the road from St. Augustine to right here in Jacksonville. 8-5. UNF Ospreys lead by 3 on ESPN+.
No one like you.
No place like this.
The University
of North Florida.
We are Sunbelt. We look forward.
Commit to progress.
Shine together.
Elevate student athletes to create a better world.
Blaze the fast.
Challenge norms.
Enlighten and innovate.
For no matter the height of our obstacles,
they will never block the sun.
We can.
Be students first.
Rise.
Connect.
Impact.
Every day.
We are
Sunbelt.
Hey, welcome back to the campus of the University of North Florida. Ospreys hosting Flagler College here tonight on ESPN+. Brett Martin along with Nancy Miller, and with a 3-ball falling a couple of times for the Ospreys. Neither team afraid to launch him, and welcome to college basketball 2020.
Ospreys a perfect 2 for 2 from Beyond the arc.
There's Placer with it. Ryan Burkhart, St. Augustine guy. Almost has the ball stolen away. Marcus Hendrickson, good hands. Marcus Henderson poking the ball out there.
Saints are really getting after it and getting in the shorts of the Ospreys offensively, forcing their non-handlers to really put it on the deck.
Here's Adedoyan, double down there in the corner, kicks it out to Endicott. There's Henderson again with the quick hands. Now he's got a breakaway. Live ball turnover here, but just can't cash in. Pretty good defense by Burkhart.
It's going to be a turnover. Yep.
They're all over the place right now. That was Barr reading the pass, and Ospreys have to be a bit careful, a little lackadaisical with the basketball.
Well, it's, you know, how a Division II team approaches coming into the local Division I institution, and they get fired up just like a UNF gets fired up to play a Power 5 conference. But at the end of the day, it's the game of basketball, and you have to prepare the same way. You have to respect your opponent and go out and play for 40.
Well, and Ospreys just chasing wins right now. They're 1-7. Haven't had that feeling too often so far this season. And keep in mind, Flagler has over a Division I team already. So here's Lati, and he has it knocked out of bounds by Jaden Parker. So the big freshman. It's really fun to watch these freshmen. The height that the Ospreys have. Saw them last Saturday on display, and here they are early in this one. Abar and Parker, 6'10", 6'9". Just in the past, that's something the Ospreys haven't had.
This is the tallest Osprey basketball team in the history of UNF men's basketball, and Jaden Parker brings that length. You know, as he moves forward in his career, he'll probably have to pack on a few pounds because of the physicality of the game, but boy, he takes up the whole paint with his wingspan.
Yeah, the length on their team is noticeable. As now down there, the baseline stolen away by Burkhart. Good defense there. The Ospreys are always going to shoot the three. They're the birds of Trey. They're always going to have pretty-looking offense, it feels like. So they'll do some of those things as Dorian James floats it in. But the added length and height is something that it'll be interesting to see how it evolves under Matthew Driscoll with this basketball team.
Well, and Dorian James is finding a lot of success off the penetration for those little 8-foot bunnies. Nice dump pass from Ryan Burkhart on that assist.
That's Bain, Spencer Bain, the freshman out of Overland Park, Kansas. He drains the three, and it's a 2-point game. Ospreys up by a couple.
That high pick and roll and lift action in the channel for the Ospreys.
Adedoyan has it, 15 to go on the shot clock. Drives, dishes to Burkhart. Burkhart for three, and overshot everything.
And that's Ryan's bread and butter, catch and shoot. I don't think he's taken a 2-point shot all year.
He hasn't. More than 40 attempts, and all of them from outside, beyond the three. Wow, how about that? Right down Main Street, and there's Jalen Barr once again, always around the rim. That one, he was above the rim.
Flagler's finding success of penetrating, extending that back line of that zone, and getting in behind the back line of the 2-3.
We're tied up, 7 minutes in. Here's Placer, gets bumped. 12:56 to go here in the first half, and you can just feel the energy on the Flagler side. We're right next to their bench, but you can probably hear it in the broadcast. We're feeling it, and you mentioned it. I mean, they're pumped up. This is their first real game in a couple of weeks. I mean, a game that counts. Again, they were exhibition games, and even those are tough probably sometimes when you know it doesn't count in your win-loss column, or maybe a little bit different to get up for. And this will be their final game until January 6th for Flagler. So
yeah, that's a long layoff. Division IIs always have Christmas break, that they have a little bit of an extended week.
I think so.
And he kissed it off the glass there.
A little difficult this year, too, with holiday tournaments that you might find, and you don't really have those. So.
And then you throw in finals week and the end of the regular semester.
How about that sweet move from Jayzik Lati? Fancy dribbling and then able to finish as well. We're tied at a dozen. Again, Lati played at University of Arkansas Little Rock. He started there, played a lot there. Transfers, his minutes started to go down, and so transfers over to Flagler. So he's a legit D1 basketball player and showcasing it with the dribble skills and then the finish.
And they're going to push it in transition.
Here's Spencer Bain. Hit it from the right side, now hit it from the left side, and the Saints on the road have the lead. The confident Flagler bunch.
Well, and one of the top keys for North Florida tonight was locate the shooters and run them off the line. North Florida is going to have to do a better job in defensive transition.
Ospreys find themselves down 3 points here at home, 15-12 on ESPN Plus. We'll be right back. Socially distant fans in the stands here at UNF Arena. Fans are invited here for the home basketball games. And there are some in attendance here on this Saturday evening, right around the holidays, a week until Christmas. So happy holidays to everyone.
You got all your Christmas shopping done?
Not at all. I haven't even thought about it.
It's too late to order online, so you're going to have to venture out to the town center, I guess.
What happened to those like 2-day drone drops or something? Brett Martineau, Nancy Miller. Ospreys find themselves down by 3. A very energetic Flagler team and a good Flagler team. Off to a nice start here on the road.
Yeah, really exerting a lot of pressure. Hard hedge on that ball screen.
Abar now called for an over the back.
He was blocked out by 3 Saints guys.
It's interesting. I hesitate to call this a road game for Flagler. You know, it just doesn't feel like it. I mean, legitimately a 20-minute ride from St. Augustine, maybe a little bit more than that, but from campus to here on the University of North Florida campus. So a nice road game for sure.
Ospreys staying in that zone.
Keep an eye on Spencer Bain, too. He's got 2 triples.
2 for 2 from 3-point. He needs to stick with his go-to, his bread and butter.
Now Dorian James tries to force the issue, but who draws the block as the Flagler bench wanted an offensive foul, but Dorian James draws the block. And probably a pretty good call. Looks like it on the replay. Bain has 6 points. Lati has 5 to lead the way for Flagler. They've got a 3-point cushion.
Chase Fiddler, 6'5" freshman from Huntsville, Alabama, checks in for the Saints.
You know, we talk about the inexperience of the Ospreys. They have a lot of guys on their team that haven't had a ton of playing time in their careers, even if they've been on campus. Well, Flagler is the same way. They have a brand new team. Some transfers, some freshmen, that blend, but hasn't played a lot of basketball together.
Nice ball movement. Good
There's
ball
Lati.
fake. Boy, and the seas are just parting for the Ospreys. There's nobody stepping up on a help side rotation to stop that dribble penetration.
Jacek Lati has 7 now, and he's lightning quick to the basket there. It's a 5-point lead for Flagler. Now Endicott up and in off the window. Quick response by the Ospreys.
Well, Brant, I don't know how you feel about it, but I wouldn't expect any team in America to really hit their stride until January early February, just because of the fits and starts of the COVID pandemic, how it's altered practices, and if kids are out in quarantine.
How about Lati right there? High off the glass. He's heating up. He now has 9. Yeah, I agree with you. I think that's, from a coaching standpoint, that's what they want. They want to be hitting their stride in January, conference time, whether it's the Peach Belt Conference for Coach Chad Warner and Flagler or for Matthew Driscoll and the A-Sun. Adedoyan draws the foul. That one against Chase Fiddler will be his first. But especially true this year where everything is so out of whack and a lot of teams just happy to be getting on the floor and playing 40 minutes. And it will be very interesting in the A-Sun this year. We haven't had a lot of discussion about it, but once we get into A-Sun play, how the back-to-backs will work, how will that impact certain teams, how much will you have to use your depth, just a lot of adjustments all around that maybe break away from your normal traditions and philosophies here in 2020, 2021.
The only thing is that it's going to be equitable for everybody, so nobody really has an advantage unless you've got your home stand. I think it's easier from a coaching preparation standpoint. From a scouting perspective, kids aren't going to forget what keys are and who the personnel is, so I think that's easier. But yeah, the tired legs.
Well, here's Lati. Watch him. He's been quick now. 4 on the shot clock.
Ooh, he's
he
quick
drives
off the
and
bounce.
he finishes that one. He's into double digits. Right now he's the best player on the floor, Jazik Lati.
Yeah, I don't know if the Ospreys have anybody to handle him in a one-on-one capacity.
21-14. Flagler up by 7, largest lead of the game. Placer in the paint, dumps it off. And now the Ospreys look stuck, and Endicott throws it away. All Flagler right now.
Well, you mentioned it earlier, the Ospreys facing that tough competition, that Power 5 competition, averaging almost 18 turnovers a game. But it's also the inexperience of Coach Driscoll doesn't like to talk about youth, but it is that inexperience.
Barr had a drive to the lane. It sat on the front of the rim, or that would have been a 9-point lead. Instead, it remains at 7. I actually think right now, too, you talk about inexperience, talk about some of those things, but it feels like energy is a difference maker right now on the floor. And the Ospreys are yet to show some energy. First game in a week. But Flagler is certainly showcasing a lot of energy. We'll see if they can keep it up. Here's Lati, picks it off. Live ball turnover. He's quick. Pretty good defense down that end by the Ospreys. They'll make Lati earn it, but he'll go to the free throw line. He's already got 11.
Adedoyan sprinted back, got down, and got in defensive stance, but Lati is quick as a hiccup off the bounce. And we talk about Flagler being a three-point shooting team, but now they're getting finding a lot of success right at the rim.
In the 2 games that actually have counted, Jazik Lati was shooting 50% from the floor, 24.5 points a game. So obviously it's just a 2-game sample. And word is in the exhibition games that they played against Furman and South Alabama, he was held in check a little bit. But that's what you have to do. If you want to hold Flagler in check, you better hold Lati in check, because we're seeing him go off right now in the first 12 minutes of the first half. He's going to get a little bit of a breather, and nobody happier to see him go to the bench than the Ospreys.
Jacob Cruz checks in for the Ospreys for his first minutes of the basketball game. Freshman from Hilliard, Florida, just down the way.
Couple local guys for the Ospreys. Interestingly enough, Flagler only has 1 local player from St. Augustine as well, went to St. Joseph's Academy. He's a walk-on, and that's Luke Magri. There's a timeout on the floor. It's all Flagler right now. Ospreys only have 14 points in the first 12 minutes. We'll see if they can get their offense cooking when we come back on ESPN+.
At ViStar, we believe in better. And that's just what we give our members. Better convenience so they can bank any way they want. Whether it's walking into a branch, managing accounts on a mobile device, or using one of the 20,000 free ATMs across North America. It all comes down to the belief that people have better things to do with their time. If you believe that convenience is better, join ViStar. We never forget that it's your money.
No one like you.
No place like this.
The University
of North Florida.
That's Spencer Bain for Flagler right there. He's got a couple of three-point baskets, and the Flagler College Saints have the lead here on ESPN Plus. Brent Martineau along with Nancy Miller. Happy Saturday evening. Happy holiday season. 23-15. Flagler off to a nice start in the first half, up by 8.
Lati almost has as many points by himself as the Ospreys' entire basketball team. He's got 13 on 5 of 7 shooting, and most of those have been right at the rim.
Very quick to the basket, and they've been utilizing that. Derek Ellis Jr. with the basketball in his hands. Lati is getting a little bit of a breather right now.
That's some miscommunication by the Ospreys on the weave.
They're really fortunate because Jalen Barr's been all around the rim, and he's just missing close to the basket. Now Cruz will launch a three. It certainly wasn't in rhythm. And again, another break for the Ospreys because the ball goes off Derek Ellis's hands and out of bounds. They'll get another possession at it.
I think the more minutes Jacob Cruz gets, though, I really like his game in practice situations and watching this young man as a freshman. I think he'll have a bright future here at UNF.
Here's Placer with the basketball. Been quiet so far. Gets trapped, trying to find an open man. Does in Dorian James. 6 to go on the shot clock now. James will have to work one-on-one. Step back three. Got it to go. That's a big bucket. It looked like the Ospreys were in trouble. They get 3 out of it instead.
And great defense by Jalen Barr for the Saints. Stayed in front, contested. Great shot by Dorian James.
Here's Lati. Pretty good find. That's Metzger, and he lays it off the window and in. The big body from Plantation, Florida, at the St. Thomas Aquinas. Endicott playing for the first time in a couple weeks. Been a little rusty so far. There's Placer underneath.
Well, the Saints are being very disciplined defensively. Placer got into the key, wanted to kick out long opposite. Nobody's sagging off the shooters.
Jose Placer has 5. Ospreys just down by 4. They were down by as many as 9. Jalen Barr tries the long-range shot. He's now 2 for 8 shooting, and again, a lot of that within like 3 feet of the basket. Just isn't able to get anything to go down right now. Almost a double dribble by Placer.
Good challenge by Metzger.
A really good defense, and here comes Marcus
nice
Hendrickson.
Side rotation.
Lati just stays after it after the initial shot was blocked. He's got 15.
That's an offensive foul. I think Jose Placer got away with a little elbow shove. Well, he didn't get away with it, did he?
No, he didn't. You saw it, and there it is. Extends the arm.
Little love tap.
So an empty possession for the Ospreys. 27-21, 6-point lead for Flagler. They've been in control here over the last 6-7 minutes especially. Ospreys get off to an 8-3 lead.
And you see how they're spreading it. They're 5 out right now, spreading the Ospreys defensively and looking for penetration opportunities.
At this point, you almost invite them to launch the threes and see if they'll make. Lati tries it and he makes it. So there he is. He's amazing so far in this first half. He's got 18.
The on-ball defense is very impressive for the Saints to me. Staying down and disciplined.
Here's Dorian James, tries to answer, and he does. That's a good triple and a big one for the Ospreys.
Dorian 4 for 5 from the field, shooting 80%, 2 for 3 from three-point.
Derek Ellis, a little out of control. 6-point game. See if the Ospreys can get in a rhythm offensively. LeGrand has to go to the floor to get it.
Well, and it's about the Ospreys making consecutive stops defensively, and I think you've seen that. They're buying in a little bit more on the defensive end this last couple of minutes.
Adedoyan tries to dump, but a tough catch by Endicott. He somehow got it. Cruz not able to make the shot. And here come the Saints. You can hear the coaching staff say, go, go, go. Metzger now working against James, misses the shot.
No offensive rebounds for the Saints, worried about getting back in transition against the Ospreys. Shot clocks just went out on our backboards.
Yeah, they'll stop the clock and stop the game because of that. 3:50 to go in the first half. Might be the right time to take an official timeout, under 4 minutes to go, and fix those clocks as they're back on anyway. We'll take a break. Here on ESPN Plus, Flagler in control here in the first half, up by 6. The Ospreys ball when we come back. That is Coach Chad Warner. He's been the head coach at Flagler for a few years now, since 2017. Played some college ball as a walk-on under Hugh Durham at University of Georgia, a grad assistant at Georgia, also an assistant recently at Valparaiso. And since he's been at Flagler, 9-17, 8-20, 14-15 last week. There's Matthew Driscoll, 12 years here at the helm of the Ospreys, and he doesn't call it a rebuild, it's a reload instead. They've got more talent, now they just got to make it cohesive and make it work and make a run over the next few years.
Well, and he's so consistent. His system does not change. He brings in guys that are going to fit the slots in his system, and he's going for win 186. That would tie him for 500 overall record at UNF tonight. Flagler with a stop. And right now where I see the difference in the basketball game, besides the energy that each team is bringing, is Ospreys have turned the ball over 7 times, which has led to 7 Saints points. Oh my gosh, look at that backdoor cut.
What a pass by Chris Metzger. And Lati, who else would finish it off? But the pass by Metzger was incredible for the big man.
Here I am, I coached for 20 years and I just caught myself watching that.
That was terrific.
They've impressed me with their backdoor cuts and finishes at the rim.
Really utilizing that baseline against this defense of the Ospreys, but they've scored in a variety of ways, so everything seems to be opening up. All right, what a first half this is by Jacek Lati. Again, from Aurora, Colorado. Played for a few years at Arkansas Little Rock, Division I school. Transfers over to Flagler. He's got 21 points in the first 16 and a half minutes.
He's almost at his average on the evening. 16 minutes. Good kickback. And Dorian James is the only one that's asserting himself offensively so far.
There's Placer now. He steps over and shoots the three, and the Ospreys answer.
He says, take that, Nancy.
Ellis with a tough shot. And Flagler fortunate to keep it. Good activity on the offensive glass.
Yeah, Collier with the heads-up play. Hitting it off one of the Ospreys' knees.
That was not a good shot
No.
by Ellis Jr. early in the shot clock there. Marcus Henderson with it.
Now that's
Swings
a good help rotation by Jaden Parker.
And then Ellis Jr. drains the three, and it's been going back and forth. 9-point lead, 6-point lead, 9-point lead. Well, we're at 9 once again, 36-27. Flagler in control. Now Placer drives and cuts it to 7. He's heating up.
He is heating up, and I like that attack with the lift, the pick and roll, and the lift from that low post. Cleared out the space for him to get all the way to the rack.
The Ospreys usually spread out in their scoring. Well, 22 out of the 29 points have come from Placer and Dorian James. James leading the way with a dozen.
Saints staying in their 5 out.
And that will be a foul on Jaden Parker. Flagler very impressive. Again, worth noting, they've played 5 games, 3 of them exhibition games, all against Division I competition. They are a Division II school out of the Peach Belt Conference. And by the way, Division II schools have had a lot of wins over Division I programs here this season, especially Division II programs from the Southeast, and Flagler one of them. They beat Central Michigan for their first win ever against a D1 school earlier this month.
Well, I've always thought, and I coached 10 years of my life at the Division II level, 10 years at the Division I level, and I always thought that there wasn't a ton of difference between high-level Division II programs and the lower-tier Division I programs. A lot of that has to do with the capability of Division II programs having Division I transfers who don't have to sit a year in residency, and they can play right away, so they stack those transfers. And the Peach Belt Conference, top to bottom, it's a large Division II Southeastern Conference. High-level basketball programs, both on the men's and the women's side.
Well, Lati is one of those examples of a transfer who comes over from Arkansas Little Rock, and as the bounce goes home for Dorian James, now the lead is 6. But Lati has 21 points, and he's not the only transfer. University of Evansville, Marcus Henderson comes over from Mercyhurst for Derek Ellis Jr. Mercyhurst is a Division II school. So there are a few examples of the transfers that have come over and built this roster for Coach Chad Warner.
5 out spread. And, that's a contested shot. I don't know how much else Jose Placer could do. In fact, as a coach, I don't know if I would have said that was a great shot to take because of the contest, but he gets it to drop.
He sure did. Now it's a 7-point lead.
And that's
Placer's
an Emmanuel Adedoyan. Jose Placer picked his dribble up. Go back door. You're being overplayed.
They kick it out to Placer. 8 to go on the shot clock. Off the window and good. How about that?
Don't you like his ability to use the glass? It's a lost art in basketball anymore.
Especially from that range.
Yeah, that's a horse shot.
Placer has a dozen. Lati has 21. And now Ellis is starting to heat up all the way to the basket. Somehow didn't go down. And here comes Dorian James, 14 in the first half. Ospreys trying to close strong here in the opening 20 minutes, and that's a foul. That will send the Ospreys to the line, and Placer can shoot it from there. 38-33. This is just what UNF needs as the first half comes to a close. Maybe cut this deficit, maybe one more stop at a basket. They could pick up some really good momentum going into the break.
Well, and I think it's entirely incumbent on Jose Placer to really make his mark, and he's been doing that in the last 3 or so minutes for the Ospreys, and he's their floor general. He's the engine that makes them go, and I like his mental toughness in this last couple of minutes.
Placer, though, misses both free throws. Ouch. That was an opportunity missed.
Yeah, it was an opportunity to really take that momentum into the locker room at halftime. Instead, Lati.
Lati's going to the line to try to complete a three-point play. That was too easy.
Where is the baseline help side rotation? It's non-existent for the Ospreys on these penetrations.
So Jacek Lati averages 24.5 through the first couple of games. He has 23 right now and going to the free throw line to try to make it 24. He's been fun to watch.
Well, and the problem is the help side rotation is being occupied by exchanges on the weak side. And as the Flagler Saints lifted, brought the help side defense away. The help side defense got caught watching their player instead of the ball.
Just a terrific first half of action for Lati. 24 points, 4 rebounds, a couple of assists as well. He leads everybody by a bunch. Under a minute to go, 41-33. Flagler's been in control for a long time in this first half, and they're in control right now, up 8. Tough catch for Endicott. Luckily, the ball spits out to the UNF Ospreys. Now Dorian James. He's made 2 threes. Can't make that one. And now one shot opportunity for Flagler. They have a chance to build the halftime lead to double figures. Guess who's going to shoot this one?
They might spread it 1-4 across the baseline and let him go to work. 10 seconds on the shot clock. There's about a half-second difference.
Well, here he goes. They start to work. Some good dribbling. Step back 3. Doesn't go down. About the only shot that hasn't gone down. And now a 3 by Lanier is off the mark. And that's how the first half ends. The energy was palpable here from Flagler in the first half. And, well, they delivered in their execution as well. They'll take an 8-point lead to the locker room. 41-33. Flagler College trying to steal a win. 20 minutes up the road here on the campus of the University of North Florida. We've got 20 minutes left. Halftime stats and highlights on the way on ESPN+. Well, welcome back to the University of North Florida. Brent Martin along with Nancy Miller. And I think people will say this is a stunner, but if you know what Flagler's done early on, you know a little bit of the struggles of the Ospreys early on. I don't know if this is shocking, but it's still a bit surprising. 41-33, the Saints on the road beating the Ospreys by 8.
I would say it's unexpected, but Jacek Lati has 24 points for the Flagler Saints at halftime on 9 of 13 shooting, perfect from the free throw line. And the Ospreys took a punch, and they didn't punch back until late in that first half. Jose Placer came on late. He's got 12 points. Dorian James is about the only other player that you can really talk about having a good offensive production night, and he's got 14. So other Ospreys are going to have to step up if they want to cut into this 8-point deficit.
Yeah, let's take a look at the stats right now from the first half, and of course they favor Flagler so far here tonight. Both teams shooting it well. The turnovers, of course, are big. Ospreys have 7. Flagler has 2, and the defense and the energy that Flagler brought created a bunch of that.
They're really getting into the UNF players' shorts and really exerting a lot of pressure. They're also being very disciplined and not helping off of shooters. They're letting the Ospreys try to break them down defensively off the bounce, and then they're sticking with their men. So I like their defensive game plan. Ospreys are going to have to take better care of the basketball because the 7 turnovers have led to 7 points for the Saints.
Well, what's surprising, though, is the points in the paint.
Yeah.
I mean, 24-12. And by the way, that's not because Flagler has a big guy scoring. That is all off the dribble and off the drive and the finishing around the hoop.
That's right. They have spread the floor. They're working that 5-out motion offense with a lot of handoffs and weave action and really spreading the defense of the Ospreys. And then it's one-on-one to the rack.
All right, well, it's 41-33. Ospreys have some work to do in the final 20 minutes. We'll see what corrections they make, what adjustments they make, and when we come back here on halftime, we'll take a look at some of the first half highlights. You'll see number 4 in red and black quite a bit. His name is Jacek Lati, and he has 24 to lead the way for the Saints. Happy holidays, everybody. Not so happy first half for the North Florida Ospreys as they trail 41-33 to Flagler. And this isn't a rivalry game of any sort. It's two local teams, though. Flagler from right down the road in St. Augustine, Division II program. And they brought the energy in the early going. Jose Placer brought his game once again. He's got a dozen. Jonathan A-Bar showed his range, but it was all about number 4.
It was all about Jacek Lottie, and you'll see that penetration, the dump passes, getting to the rim, and a lot of success right around 2 to 4 foot shots for the Flagler Saints.
He's so quick, and he showcased that. And then his ability to score from every level, really, from downtown and then a bunch inside the paint. Again, 24 first half points in the paint. Dorian James keeping him in it.
Dorian James, 14 points on 4 for 6 shooting, and Jose Placer, 5 for 6 shooting, 12 points for the Ospreys, but it is all about Jacek Lottie tonight.
Yeah. Ospreys have to find more offense, right?
And see if somebody is going to step up in the locker room and say they can take on the defensive matchup of shutting Lottie down.
That's what it's all about in the second half. Ospreys have to find a way to do that. We'll find out if they can and talk about what kind of adjustments they need to make on both ends of the floor when we come back here at halftime. Flagler leads North Florida 41-33 on ESPN+. Pretty incredible performance by that man right there, number 4, Jacek Lottie from Flagler College. We might be in store for a pretty special evening if he keeps going like that in the second half. Meanwhile, the Ospreys have to find some offense. Maybe it is their number 4, Josh Hendrickson, who's appeared a bit rusty since he's been out for the last couple of weeks and now back healthy. But the Ospreys need to find more than just Dorian James and Jose Placer on the offensive end. Brett Martineau along with Nancy Miller. Welcome back, everybody. ESPN Plus, second half action just a couple of moments away. And Nancy, let's take the offensive end first. How do they figure out this Flagler College defense and get more scoring from maybe other people?
Well, I think the guys need to assert themselves a little bit more than they have been. They've got to make some wrinkles to their actions, their pick and roll and the lift action, because the Saints defenders aren't sagging off on the perimeter. So that collapsing the defense and kicking to open shooters isn't as available tonight. So Coach Driscoll's going to have made some adjustments to that. But the bigger issue to me is defense. Offense starts with your defense. Are you making stops? Are you making consecutive stops? Are you turning them over and creating some easy high turnovers, some easy scoring opportunities for yourselves to get yourselves back in the flow? So, but they've got to find an answer to Jacek Lottie, or he's on pace to score 48 points tonight.
Yeah, that'd be one heck of an effort. And on the defensive end, what do you do there, though? I mean, can you double team? Can you try to make somebody else beat them? Do you shift up your defense schematically? What do you think?
Can you deny him the basketball? Can you make somebody else bring it up the floor and be the distributor and the creator for their basketball team? Can you double team them off the picks, the pick and rolls, or hard hedge just to make them have to hesitate a little bit? And then the help defense, when he breaks you down off the dribble, the help defense, secondary defenders have to rotate over and take some charges.
Keep in mind, Lottie has been the big man on scoring front with 24. You know, Spencer Bain hit a couple of three-pointers. Derek Ellis got going a little bit. Really thought Jalen Barr was all around the rim, just missed a bunch. He was 2 for 8 shooting. So it's not like they don't have other players that are capable, but right now you got to take away Lottie, who was just on fire in that first half and really been the creator on the offensive side with the dribble and the drive. So we're about to find out what adjustments the Ospreys made, and it wouldn't hurt to pick up the energy a little bit. You got to match the intensity of the other team, and Flagler, we'll see if they can keep that energy, but they had a different level of intensity than the Ospreys, it appeared, in the first half.
Yeah, their defensive intensity, their on-ball defense was pretty dang good. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, they came out the aggressors, without a doubt. And the Ospreys are coming off a week break, and they were expecting to have that midweek game against the University of Florida that got canceled. So maybe they're just a little game rusty after a week off.
Well, here we go, second half action. 20 minutes to decide it. Flagler starts with the ball up by 8, and good defense by the freshman Abar, because Barr was on his way in for an easy couple. There's a start on the defensive end. Now let's see what happens on the offensive end. Placer had a dozen in the first half. Dorian James had 14. Excellent help defense by Marcus Hendrickson. I thought that was a good look initially.
Yeah, I like the weave action that the Ospreys created instead of the pick and roll.
And there you see some activity on the defensive side. It was Dorian James. It was Jose Placer. They get the turnover.
Yep, that's going to jump ball going back to the Ospreys.
That was a good look by James. We got to give a lot of credit to Marcus Hendrickson. You see on the replay, he closed that gap in a hurry and helped out. So a couple of turnovers each way, and now the Ospreys have it down by 8. First minute of the second half. Adedoyan's been quiet.
Saints in a man-to-man. Coach Driscoll's altered his bigs. He's put them out on the perimeter. He's utilizing some guard action, some little guys in the channel.
There's Dorian James now, 5 on the shot clock, has to launch the 3, does, and Abar ends up with it because Barr couldn't catch it. Abar missed it, and he got it back and put it in.
He's padding his stats there, Brent.
That was a big-time break for Abar and the Ospreys to get a couple and steal 2 on that possession.
And Abar, after his first top-of-the-key 3 early in the first half, had been relatively quiet.
Now here's Ellis to Metzger. They work the baseline. So quick. Flagler's quick. Hendrickson scores a couple.
Yeah, your help defenders have to present outside the paint in order to prevent that deep penetration.
Barr helps out on defense, but with a little too much contact. He'll pick up his first foul of the second half.
It would be nice to see Emmanuel Adedoyan get a little bit more into the flow of the basketball game as a primary ball handler to help Placer with the pressure that he's getting.
Well, here he is with the basketball. Chad Warner watches but looks over at his bench and tries to get his bench excited about this second half. Now Placer, the three, got it to go. And Jose Placer's a nice player. He's got 15 points.
Well, that was a little bit of an unexplainable error by Jalen Barr. That was a switch on the ball screen, and then he fell off. He got the switch, got in front of Placer, and then fell off.
And there is Lati, able to use the body, strong enough to get the roll in the two. He's got 26, 7-point game.
Good body up by Marcus Hendrickson on Dorian James.
Placer will catch and shoot. That time, no good off the front of the rim.
Nobody stopping ball for the Ospreys.
Good ball movement by the Saints. Everything fast. Underneath the bar, he's got nowhere to go, and they call it jump ball. It will stay with Flagler. Barr does a nice job of creating space underneath, but he just has not been able to finish. So good help defense that time by the Ospreys.
Little undersized against the larger Ospreys and the length of the Ospreys.
Well, that's what the Saints have to do a bit of. They are undersized, but they show off their speed, and so far speed is beating size.
Osprey staying in that 2-3.
Here's Lati. He's got 26. Spits it out to Hendrickson for three. No good. And the rebound goes to Metzger. Metzger now finds Henderson, and he's able to put it up, but no good. Offensive foul instead. See if they call Henderson with it or if it was away from the ball. It was Barr. Jalen Barr will be called for his second foul of the second half.
And I missed that foul by Jalen Barr. I thought he was just working for offensive rebounding position, but
it was a pretty emphatic call. So amidst all those bodies away from the ball, it's an unusual spot to see an offensive foul when you don't have the basketball. Here's Placer. Launches another three. Got it to go that time. Put enough air under it. And Placer has 18. A couple of triples here early in the second half. It's a 4-point game. Ospreys closest they've been in a while.
Next pass for the Saints. Boy, the C's just part. They are finding too much success getting into the paint against the UNF squad.
Abar challenged it and then pulled down the rebound, and now a blocking foul. Fortunate for James. It looked like he might have been a bit out of control, but he got the foul. Back on this end, it looked like a nice work by Abar, though. He had just altered the shot a little bit, then pulled down the rebound, so that's a defensive stop for the Ospreys.
See if they can build on it.
Well, they're the closest they've been in quite some time. It's a 4-point game. And now it's Jose Placer's game for the Ospreys. I mean, he's heating up. He's got 18.
He scored 6 in the first 3.5 minutes of the second half.
Got 4 3-pointers, and here he is in the corner. Placer again! Another 3-pointer. He's got 5 triples here tonight in 21. Now it's a 1-point game, 45-44. Ospreys now will try to play defense. Henderson, oh no, that looked like an ill-advised shot. And then a foul on Metzger, and here's the momentum with UNF really for the first time since the first couple of minutes of this basketball game.
And that's building on the consecutive stops. So they've now made 3 consecutive stops, and they've gotten conversions on the opposite end.
This is all about Jose Placer, though. He's 5 for 6 from downtown. 3 of them here in the first few minutes of the second half, single-handedly bringing back the Ospreys.
Well, the Saints lost him. He was the inbounder. He came off, got the inbounds pass back for that deep 3 in the corner.
UNF, a chance to take their first lead in quite some
Squeezing through
time.
the double.
Placer's open again. He can't get that one to go. You can almost feel it in here.
Came through that elevator screen. I thought it was going to be good.
He was too open, maybe. Barr working against Placer. Gets stymied. Here's Lati. Plenty of time on the shot clock. The drive and good defense by Abar, the freshman.
Ospreys out in transition.
Here's Placer. Chance to take the lead for the Ospreys.
Placer's feeling it right now.
Good drive, just couldn't finish. Now Ellis, and he's carried it. He carried it. And we're going to have a timeout on the floor. And we got a good basketball game now here. 15 minutes to play from UNF Arena in Jacksonville, Florida. And it's a one-point game. The visiting Saints from Flagler College up by 1. But here comes Jose Placer and the Ospreys. Find out what happens next on ESPN+.
Star, we believe in better, especially in helping build a better financial future for our members. So we've reviewed our offerings from the ground up to let our members keep more of their money. We've lowered or eliminated over half of our fees and enhanced our already competitive rates, saving members more than $1 million this year, in addition to the millions we save them every year. If you believe that saving money is better, join ViStar. We never forget that it's your money.
We are Sunbelt. We look forward.
Commit to progress.
Shine together.
Elevate student athletes to create a better world.
Blaze the path.
Challenge norms.
Enlighten and innovate.
For no matter the height of our obstacles,
They will never block the sun.
We can.
Be students first.
Rise.
Connect.
Impact.
Every day.
We are
Sunbelt.
The Ospreys getting some good minutes here in the second half from several players. Jonathan Abar right there, the freshman, good on the defensive end. Jose Placer's been outstanding. He's got 21 points, 3 3-pointers in the second half. It's a one-point game. Ospreys with a chance to get their first lead since the 12:36-minute mark of the first half. So that was a long, long time ago.
When Coach Driscoll's moved Placer to the 2 guard, and he's got Adedoyan bringing the basketball over and initiating the offense. So Jose is a little bit more free to work to get open for his shots. Nice job by Jose Placer on that screen.
Well, there's Endicott on the boards, and I think they'll call a whistle.
I think they're going to get Lawrence Slim.
I thought there was a lot of contact, to be honest, but I was just surprised the call came from that official. And I think Chad Warner was too. Brett Martineau, Nancy Miller here on ESPN+. Happy Saturday evening, happy holidays. We've got a good basketball game here. Flagler has been in control. They led by as many as 9 several times, led by 8 at halftime. And the Ospreys now back in it, looking for their first lead since the 12-minute mark of the first half. They have the basketball. Dorian James having a nice day, 14 points, and now they throw it away. So that was the problem in the first half. Some sloppy play with 7 turnovers. They turn it over here.
You don't expect Lati to miss those.
Oh, Abar active underneath. Thought he had the block against Barr, but Barr will go to the free throw line. Placer already, by the way, at a career high in points for the Ospreys. Against Florida Atlantic, he had 20. He's been a good scorer for the Ospreys anyway. 18 last Saturday night against FIU. Double digits every game except for 2. But tonight, the three-pointers are falling. He's got 21. He's doing it from mostly three-point line, but he can get to the basket too on the drive. And we talked about how he uses the glass effectively. It's like you can't play point guard or the 2 guard here at University of North Florida unless you can use the window a little bit, right? Yep. You have to have the floater somewhere in the repertoire.
You do have to. Dallas Moore, Ivan Gandia-Rosa, and now Jose Placer. Jalen Barr goes 1 for 2 for his first 2 attempts at the line tonight. Extends the lead to 2.
Here's Placer with it. And now Jaden Parker. He won't shoot it from out there. Endicott's been very quiet. Flips it to James, and I think he stepped on the line. And so that's empty possession and empty possession 2 in a row. The Ospreys
right.
can't
2
have that,
turnovers
especially when you're going uphill and you're chasing. Empty possessions can be devastating.
Well, Josh Endicott, he's coming off about a 10-day layoff, and he sprained that ankle. He did a pretty good job. I watched the ECU game. Holy smokes!
That was Marcus Hendrickson from way outside.
That's from down at the Festival of Lights down in St. Augustine.
And now it's a 5-point game. Ospreys had 3 opportunities to take the lead, and they couldn't. And now Burkhart misses.
And they need Burkhart. That's his patented skill set.
That's his money shot right there.
Oh, forced the turnover there.
Right in front of us.
But back to Endicott, 10 days off with a high ankle sprain, and he's really battling on the boards. That's what he does best, and finishes around the rim, and you can't fault his effort right now. He's come out with a lot of energy in this second half.
I think a lot of credit, too, to Flagler, what they're doing on the interior defensively. Really collapsing around that basketball. A lot of energy, a lot of bodies. Ospreys have picked up the energy in the second half, too, and we've got a good basketball game, but it's a 5-point deficit now for the Ospreys.
Oh, that was trying to lob it to Jaden Parker.
Now you're talking about 3 turnovers in the last 4 possessions, so the Ospreys have to do a better job. They're right in the middle of this game. They fought all the way back, and now they can't take care of the basketball.
Well, and really, those were three unforced turnovers. That wasn't defense dictating. That was a bad pass out of bounds, an ill-advised lob, and a step on the sideline. Oh, nice job by Flagler.
Now there's Collier, and the lead is up to 7.
And Lati says, I just don't score, I distribute.
A big answer by Adedoyan. Before the game got away from UNF, they get it back to a 4-point game.
Cardinal sin is to lose shooters in transition.
Here's Hendrickson, just hit one from George Street. And now Lati with a rare miss, and keep an eye on Collier. I think he came down on that ankle tough, but he also gets whistled for a foul, so trying to work that out.
And they're really working that flash to the middle of the zone for Lati. He's becoming more of a distributor, but
ooh, that's a big-time roll of the ankle there. We've all seen that. Heck, you can do that in a pickup game, and it hurts. Doesn't matter where you do it, falling off the curb or whatever.
It would be falling off the curb for you.
Well, it was a pickup game like way back in the day. I don't do that anymore.
Guys your age, though, I watch my neighbors go to their Sunday morning soccer leagues, and my across-the-street neighbor invariably comes home with a new injury every week. So those weekend warrior injuries when you're in your 40s.
You stay away from those slow-pitch softball leagues and all that now. Just go play golf.
Yeah, less chance to blow out your Achilles.
Another missed free throw. I mean, the missed opportunities on the offensive end for the Ospreys continue to pile up, and we'll keep an eye on it. There's 12:50 to go in the game, but there's not 30 minutes to go in the game, so there's a lot of consequences to all these missed opportunities. Now Metzger gets it. He just misses. Good-looking shot, just missed.
If I were the Ospreys.
Good pass, knocked out. Good recovery by Metzger, too.
You see how open that flash of the zone against the middle of the zone? I think I would send if a cutter's going, I'd match up with that cutter because that's Lati every time. He's a good distributor in the basketball in the middle of the zone.
Well, if there's one win so far for the Ospreys, Lati only has 2 points in the second half.
And he's missed 2 relatively easy bunnies.
There's Adedoyan, just hit a 3. Now Jaden Parker works inside. Tough shot. Good job by the freshman. And a big basket. It's a 2-point game, a mini 5-0 run for the Ospreys.
Yeah, kept his composure. I like how he can elevate above. And just think if he gets a few more extra pounds, he could really bang it inside too.
There's Barr underneath, and he's fouled by Endicott. As they utilize the baseline play once again, it will send Barr to the free throw line. Last trip, Barr was 1 of 2. He makes that one. 6.7 boards. And very, very active. You talked about the energy. I don't think it will show up in 20-plus points for Barr, but a lot of the energy has come from number 23.
On the defensive end in particular.
Stretches the lead to 4 with a dozen minutes to play in the basketball game. Ospreys have not led since the 12:36 mark of the first half. It's been Flagler in control. Here's Adedoyan. Kicks it to Endicott. He'll take the 3, and that is no good. Now Latte. He draws the foul, almost got the 2 to go.
Do you think Adedoyan had a chance at just laying it up?
I was surprised that he didn't attack the basket there. I think he was expecting them to collapse, and they never did. He kicked it out, and Endicott missed wildly from 3. It's a 4-point game here on ESPN+. We'll be back. Final 12 minutes of this one. Flagler leads it by 4. Welcome back. Live action here, 11:39 to go in the basketball game. 53-49 the score. Flagler at the free throw line, but Jason Galati, who's been just unbelievable here tonight. First of 2 free throws, now has 27. He's been somewhat quiet in the second half, but he's still creator for the Saints. And it's almost scary, I think, for the Ospreys that he's been quiet and they're still trailing now by 5. You just wonder when he's going to heat up once again.
Well, in one statistic, and he missed the free throw, but that's going to be called on Jaden Parker with a clear out, I think.
And so a bonus possession for Flagler now as that's team foul number 4.
That brings up a statistic I was looking at during the timeout, and that you would think that the Ospreys would be dominating the boards, and they only have a 2 rebound advantage over a much smaller Flagler team.
Oh, Barr couldn't catch that. It looked like a good pass, too, by Derek Ellis. Couldn't catch it, goes out of bounds, so it goes over the Ospreys. 5-point game. Brett Martineau, Nancy Miller here on ESPN+, live from UNF Arena on a Saturday night. Flagler had been in control, and now a bad pass by Adedoyan. He gets it back, and Barr steals it. And now bodies flying everywhere, and Flagler comes away with it. What a scramble. Now Bain, he's already hit a couple of threes, and he makes it another. 3 of them. And Flagler leads by 8. What a scurry and a flurry. That leads to 3 more for Flagler.
If Flagler comes away with this W, you can point to that moment as being indicative of the energy that they've brought more energy tonight than the Ospreys have.
Now Parker from 3, not a great shot. Burkhart able to get it. The Ospreys, just a lot of ill-advised passing, too, to create some turnovers here in the second half.
10 seconds on the shot clock.
Here's Placer, somehow gets that up there, but into the tall trees and not able to go. Now Bain. And they drew a little contact. That's a foul against Adedoyan. I mean, Matthew Driscoll must be sitting over there and be like, what are we doing? Some of the passes they've made on this side of the floor in the second half have been very lazy.
Yeah, they've been uncharacteristically, bad with ball security tonight. But Coach Driscoll is maintaining his composure. Remember, that's an inexperienced basketball team he's coaching this year.
Well, they're being out-hustled right now. Flagler's coming up with every loose ball, and they just got another one. Somehow Lati is missing, and the Ospreys are benefiting because they're hanging in the game. They're down by 8. Now Dorian James draws a foul as he got aggressive on the offensive end. James has been pretty quiet. He had 14 probably in the first 15 minutes of the game, and now he'll have a chance to add to it finally, but he's been stuck on 14 for a while. One foul note to tell you about is Abar, the freshman, has 4 fouls. That's why Parker was getting some minutes.
I was going to say Parker's getting a lot more minutes in the second half because of the foul trouble.
Oh, and Abar's back in the game. And Dorian James misses a free throw. The Ospreys usually good from the free throw line.
And they really haven't gotten there a ton tonight either. Credit the Saints defense.
Not a lot right going for UNF, and they missed
both.
2. But Burkhart's able to get it, shoot the 3, no good. Abar comes down with a rebound, and, whoa, that pass was almost stolen. 15 to go on the shot clock. Dorian James trying to create on offense.
And that's a turnover.
Felt like 2 big spots. They've missed 2 free throws. One was Placer early in the first half, down by 5. Now this one down by 8. Much needed points, and Dorian James misses both. Now Flagler, a chance to extend to double digits. Largest lead of the game, and they do it. That is Derek Ellis Jr. He's got 7, and it's the largest lead of the basketball game.
Ospreys need to counter that Lati in the middle of the zone. We've been saying it for about 7 or 8 minutes, but he's having too much success in the middle of that zone.
Matthew Driscoll calls a timeout. We'll take one as well. Ospreys find themselves down by 10 with under 10 minutes to go on ESPN+. Well, welcome back. Ospreys have 9 minutes and 29 seconds to try to erase a 10-point deficit here to Flagler College from just down the road in St. Augustine, Division II program out of the Peach Belt Conference. Peach Belt Conference, that is. And there's James. Wow, that didn't go down. I mean, it's that kind of night right now for the Ospreys.
Well, and I was going to say, there's plenty of time. 10-point deficit with a team that shoots the three as much and as often as UNF does. The three is the great equalizer in the game. So they can cut into this lead pretty quickly. Not if they're missing layups, though.
Nah, it's a 14-5 run since it was a 1-point game. Here's Bain for another three, no good. Jacob Cruz has been very quiet.
Good
freshman from Hilliard, good rebound.
And good box out by Jonathan Abar.
Placer got going early in the second half. Let's see if they can get him going again. Instead, Dorian James is out of control and stolen away. Lati just can't get it to go.
It's 14 turnovers for the Ospreys, which have led to 18 points for Flagler, and that might become insurmountable if they continue.
Well, they got a break right there that one
careless.
Didn't go down.
Yeah.
Again, the turnovers on the offensive end means empty possessions, and a lot of them very ill-advised.
Well, and a lot of them are live, which is leading to easy transition opportunities for Flagler.
The 7 this half feel like 20 compared to the first half. Still in it if they can get going on offense. Here's Adedoyan. 10 seconds to go on the shot clock. Dorian James already hit a couple of threes. Can't get it to go. Cruz, nice rebound. But he got fouled on the way up. Now they have to hit free throws. .805 to go, 59-49. Jacob Cruz, young man from Hilliard. They really like this kid.
They're 4 for 10 from the line tonight are the Ospreys, 5 for 11.
As Jacob Cruz in the ilk of the Bo Beaches of the world. And
well, you've got to really appreciate building a program with local talent, and Coach Driscoll has done that with, you already referenced Bo Beach, and now he's got 3 local guys on the squad, which is really nice and speaks to the high level of high school basketball that is here in the Jacksonville area.
Yeah, Cruz will be interesting to watch. 6'7", 200-pound guy, again, that can shoot the three. That's what brings the Bo Beach name into play. So we'll see. It'll be Flagler basketball up by 8 when we come back here at ESPN Plus. 7:55 to go from UNF Arena on the campus of the University of North Florida. Ospreys have some work to do.
Some beers have a lot of ingredients, a lot of different ingredients. Our beer is brewed with 4 essential ingredients: barley, rice, water, and hops. Here's to the beer you can always count on, brewed to be America's favorite light lager.
At ViStar, we believe in better. That means treating people better with the kind of friendly, personal service that's kept our members happy since 1952. A smile and personal greeting for everyone who comes into the branch. An online or phone chat for those quick questions. And a call center that's open 7 days a week. If you believe that great service is better, join ViStar. We never forget that it's your money.
on the shot clock for Flagler. They have the basketball and an 8-point lead. Brent Martineau, Nancy Miller on ESPN Plus. We have a moving screen, I think, right there. And that's Lauren Slim. A little shove. Officials caught it. It was right in front of the official.
You can't do an illegal screen right there. Stuck his knee out. That's a good call by the official.
Yeah, hard to even argue that one.
When you look at this Flagler team and their scoring, the only one in double figures is Lati. Everybody else less than 10. Scott Bain with 9. 3 for 5 from the three-point line. Nice feed.
There's Abar with the finish. That was easy, using some of that size.
Right.
And now they're down by 6. Lati, by the way, does have 27 in the game. Abar now has 7, 5 rebounds. Remember, he also has 4 fouls. There's Lati finding his way in the middle of that paint. Crafty underneath,
Yep.
An easy 2 for him.
He's found a lot of success distributing the basketball from that spot in the second half when he hasn't been scoring as much.
Here's Adedoyan in the corner, got the 3. So the Ospreys aren't going away, just down by 5.
Staying in the zone, the extended zone. Flagler hasn't done its damage from three-point, though. They've done it from the paint area. So many points in the paint against this UNF squad tonight.
And that's Lati. He is 31 now. Jacob Cruz in the corner. He got it to go. So 2 in a row from the same spot for the Ospreys. First Adedoyan, then Cruz. It's a 4-point game. They'll trade 2 for 3 every time.
Flagler has 36 points in the paint compared to UNF 16.
And they let Lati catch it, but then they corral him. And now Barr underneath has it blocked from behind, so a good stop.
That's right. His problem got in too deep against the taller and lengthier UNF defenders.
Here's Adedoyan. Ospreys with a chance now, down by 4. Working against Lati, and Adedoyan now starting to heat up, being an aggressor. And now it's a 2-point game.
Coach Warner is calling his team over. They need a timeout.
And they finally do get it. 63-61 our score. And the Ospreys have done everything they needed to do to climb back in this game. It was a triple in the corner by Adedoyan, another 3 by Cruz, and then an aggressive move to the basket by Adedoyan. So you're seeing other players step up. We were asking about that
That's
at
right.
halftime. Remember, it was Placer that got them back into the game all the way down by 1. But now some other contributors, Abar playing some more significant minutes as well.
And with 4 fouls, he's playing very smart basketball. But I like Emmanuel Adedoyan's minutes right now because he's the other true primary ball handler for the Ospreys besides Placer. And he's creating scoring opportunities for himself and others.
Well, there you see Carter Hendrickson, too, coming out of that huddle. He's not obviously in uniform. He's been out for a bit, a lower leg injury. Good to see him off the scooter, though.
That's right. He almost ran over me with that scooter one day in the parking lot.
Hendrickson, the best player on this basketball team statistically. They've been without him for a bit. We'll be without him for a little more, but hopefully we'll get him back sometime during the ASUN season. Now Lati misses the 3, and look at the rebound by James. Ospreys with a chance to take the lead or at least tie it with a basket. Adedoyan skips it over to Cruz. Coming up on 5 minutes to go in the basketball game. Here's Placer. He leads the way with 21. Drives and kicks. Cruz will launch from the same spot. No good.
I thought that it could have almost been one more next pass to the wide open, and I don't know who it was, but
I've got a feeling the coaching staff would agree with you. Marcus Henderson thought about it. Here's Lati in the paint. They do a good job against him there. Force him out. 13 to go on the shot clock.
boy, they've had success getting behind that back line of the zone all night against the Ospreys.
Pretty good defense, though, by the Ospreys there. That was very good, very active.
Making stops.
Placer almost has it stolen away. Good hands by Lati.
That was pretty good hands. He's not only impressed me on the offensive end, he's been an exceptionally good on-ball defender tonight against Jose Placer.
He's going to be one heck of a player in the Peach Belt Conference. A lot to handle. Adedoyan, now to Placer. Lati, good job defending the inbounder there.
Because the last time Jose Placer did that, he got that wide open three. Nice, right off the bounce.
And we're all tied up here at UNF Arena. Placer now has 23, and that's the biggest 2 yet.
Momentum has really swung in UNF's favor. Credit them with some couple of defensive adjustments.
And now a turnover by Flagler. And here we go, the Ospreys, 4:05 to play. A chance to take the lead for the first time since the 12:36 mark of the first half. They've erased a 10-point deficit in the last 5 minutes. Here's Adedoyan. Abar will shoot that ball now, but instead
5
tries to
seconds on
drive
the shot clock.
Here's Dorian James. Does he realize it? Yeah, he does.
Good
But
block.
it's blocked. How about Barr? Not a good possession by the Ospreys. Didn't get a good look. And Barr comes up big for the Saints.
And he hasn't shot the basketball well from the field today. He's only 2 for 10 from the field, but he has made a significant impact on the boards and on the defensive end of the floor. That middle of that zone is wide open. One needs to flash.
8 to go on the shot clock. Now 7. And the ball gets kicked. And that will give us our final media timeout. 3:08 to go. Hey, what a basketball game we have at UNF Arena on ESPN+. 63-63, the final 3:08 coming up next. UNF Arena, Flagler College from just down the road in St. Augustine has really been in control most of the way, led by as many as 10. That was with 9:39 to go in the basketball game, but now with 3:08 left, the Ospreys have climbed back in it. They tie the game up. It's 63-63, and we'll see what happens with Flagler taking the basketball out of bounds.
20 seconds on the shot clock off the kick.
And there's a block by Abar.
Abar asserting himself on the defensive end of the floor.
Transition 3 from Placer. Oh, that was...
And it's what they do. I don't know if that was quite the right time to take that shot.
I was going to say that was quintessential Osprey basketball, though, isn't it?
It's what they do. So
now we're tied up still. Less than 15 on the shot clock. You know, Flagler's really slowed the ball down here in the last few possessions. Under 10 on the shot clock.
5.
There's a kick again by Abar as they tried to get it to Lati, but Lati didn't touch it for the first 27 seconds of the play clock.
Yeah, and they have had so much success feeding him inside in the middle of that zone. Shooter Spencer Bain checking back into the basketball game for Marcus Hendrickson.
Yeah, and keep an eye on him. He has 9 points, 3 triples.
The freshman from Overland Park, Kansas.
Lati flashes to the ball. Ospreys have played some good defense here in the last few minutes. Can they do it again? Lati with good offense, because that wasn't bad defense.
No, I thought he was going to get that blocked, but he is, you've said it before, he is so crafty around the rim.
2-point lead for Flagler. They've led by as many as 10. Ospreys with a chance to tie or take the lead. A-Bar flashes, gets it to Placer, but it was a tough catch.
Flagler staying in that man.
Here's Placer, draws the defense. Dorian James, top of the key, 3, no good.
Metzger has done a good job for the Saints of owning the paint. He's the best and biggest physical specimen they have in the post to try to be the equalizer for the Osprey size.
Big defensive stop right here for the Ospreys to keep it a 1-possession game. Let's see if they get it. 12 on the shot clock. Now Lati has it underneath. He's surrounded, kicks it back out.
5
He's got
seconds.
it again. Now Barr, good defense. Oh, but A-Bar reached over. They had the rule of verticality in play until A-Bar reached over and picked up his 5th foul. So he will exit the basketball game. The freshman playing some big minutes once again. 7 points, 6 rebounds, added an assist. He's a difference maker. And now the Ospreys lose him for the next 85 seconds. Actually, will be Josh Endicott coming in the basketball game, and Barr going to the free throw line.
I thought A-Bar played without fear, though, with that 4 fouls for quite a long time. It's been
10 minutes.
10 minutes, right? So learning how to play when you're in foul trouble as a young player is also every moment is a new experience for these young guys, and I thought he played really well down the stretch.
Big free throw right here by Barr. Makes it a 2-possession game, and he misses. But Metzger able to handle the rebound, and now a foul. Every big play in this basketball game at critical moments seemingly made by a Flagler Saint. And that just happened again. That was a little unfortunate for the Ospreys. It was such a bad miss on the free throw line. And it was an atypical rebound. And Metzger was able to poke it back out.
Boy, you make coaches mad, though, when you give up an offensive rebound on a free throw.
So we were tied at 63 with 3:08 to go. Now we have 1:21 left. The Ospreys still at 63. And it's a 4-point game. Flagler has got a chance to extend it to 5.
Both teams have 2 timeouts left.
That's a 5-point game.
Ospreys need to score quickly, but not hurry.
Placer, number 15, keep an eye on him. Adedoyan's been aggressive at times. Endicott, down low, can't get it to go. It's been that kind of game for Josh Endicott.
Big rebound by Jalen Barr again.
And now Lati is going to be fouled. And Flagler has 60 seconds away from beating another Division I team here in this 2020 season. They already have 1 win over Central Michigan, first time they'd ever done it. They're playing a Division I schedule here early in the year. And this is their 3rd game that will actually count against a D1 school. They lost to Florida International. They beat Central Michigan. Here they are on the road against UNF and have a chance to go to 2-1 against that difficult schedule. Remember, Flagler out of the Peach Belt Conference, a Division II institution.
Well, surprisingly, Lati is not a great free throw shooter. He's only 57% on the season, so that's not a bad player to put on the line in a pressure cooker situation.
I don't know about tonight. 34 points now, 7 rebounds and 3 assists. He's been tremendous here at UNF Arena. Now, you mentioned Barr earlier, too. He's come up with some big plays. 8 points, 12 rebounds now.
He's Flagler's unsung hero tonight. He's made a lot of impact in areas that you wouldn't recognize.
Lati missed that one. And so Placer for 3 in the corner. Got it to go. A huge 3. Makes it a 1-possession game. The miss, and Placer made everything happen on that play. Raced down the court. Passed it away. Got it back and drilled the 3. And Jose Placer's having a heck of a night. He's got his 6th three-pointer of the game at 24 points.
And really, he's done that in about 30 minutes of action, because in the beginning of the game, he didn't get hot towards the latter part of the first half, but And Adedoyan has come on strong in the second half, so it took away a little bit of the pressure of handling the basketball for Placer and allowed him to be more of a scoring mentality.
What an interesting basketball game, because the Ospreys have a chance here still with a defensive stop and a big bucket, because they would overcome some big adversity, trailing most of this game, much of this game, haven't led since the 12:36 mark of the first half. A lot of questionable passes and turnovers, and feels like we've been hammering them half the time because a lot of it's been sloppy, but they keep fighting and scratching and clawing, and here they are with an opportunity down just one possession with 51 seconds to go. Do you play the possession out? I would assume you would, right?
I would play the possession out, yes. But to me, Brent, you talk about, it sounds like we were hammering them, but Flagler is a more experienced basketball team. Whether you're Division II or Division I, experience matters in the scheme of things. And they've played with more poise tonight.
Well, on the floor for the Ospreys, it will be Placer, Endicott, Jacob Cruz, a freshman, Adedoyan, Dorian James. On the floor for Flagler, Lati, who's got 34 points.
Ospreys playing it out,
Derek
staying
Ellis
in quarter court.
Now keep an eye on Bain. He's got a few triples here. He's in the corner, number 20. Metzger on the floor as well for Flagler. And Jalen Barr has been outstanding with a dozen rebounds, so he'll be active on the glass and underneath. 14 to go. There's a 20-second differential.
Bain lifts.
Here's Ellis now. Gets it into Lati. Dumps it to Barr, and Barr finishes. Well-designed play. And a timeout for Flagler, and a big slap of the hands from Coach Chad Warner as they designed that beautifully and executed with perfection.
Well, all night long, the Ospreys have struggled to defend that short corner area against the zone, and that they got caught sort of watching the paint dry on that one. But again, it's that ball getting into the middle of the paint that's created a lot of successful opportunities for the Saints, and Lati in particular.
Still time to execute now for the Ospreys. They're down by 5. They don't need a 3, can get a quick 2, but then the fouling will ensue after that. Both teams in the bonus. Flagler has 10 fouls, so it'll be double bonus for the Ospreys. It's 8 fouls for the Ospreys, so 1 and 1 on the next foul, so that could be advantageous.
Yeah, they'll need to score quickly. You don't need a 2 or a 3, it doesn't matter at this point. And then immediately pick up full court, face guard man probably. And Flagler is picking up in a full court man to try to eat some clock at this point with the 5-point lead.
Burkhart will take it out of bounds. He's in the game, obviously a 3-point specialist. Here's Adedoyan. Brings it up the floor. Placer has it. Creates space. Almost hits the 3. The ball saved by Burkhart. They have to do something with it here, and now it's stolen away.
Foul. They've got to foul quickly.
And they're not. And now Lati is fouled with 7 seconds to go, and that's going to do it most likely. I think Flagler just made the defensive stand they needed. Placer tried the 3-point shot, just didn't go down. And Flagler 7 seconds away from coming on the road and upsetting the UNF Ospreys.
Well, you talk about the experience again, the turnover there, and Jacob Cruz not knowing as a freshman that he has to foul quickly, cost him a couple of seconds.
Here's Lati now, 34 points. Just a spectacular performance. He had 24 of them in the first half. 1 and 1, the first one goes down. He's got 35.
It's probably, and I'm losing my mind here, my memory, it's probably the best performance I've seen of a player come in against the Ospreys since the Lipscomb.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about, though.
Yeah,
you can see it in your nightmares. I think he had 40 points.
36 now, and that's going to do it. What a big win for Chad Warner and the Flagler College Saints. Matthew Driscoll and Flagler shake hands, and Jason Lati, what a performance it was for him. Jose Placer had 26 to lead the way for the Ospreys, and he tried to bring them back almost single-handedly in the second half, but the Ospreys were battling uphill the entire way, and a terrific win for Flagler College. You know, they brought the energy. They're a talented basketball team. This is not like a fluky performance.
No,
they've now beaten Central Michigan and UNF, but a terrific win for them.
Yeah. Anytime you can come in and beat a Division I opponent in your home city, that's a good night.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one. No doubt a notable win for Chad Warner and the Flagler College program. Meanwhile, for the Ospreys, back to the drawing board. They continue to gain experience. This is all about ASUN play, and that is just on the horizon. But before they get there, one more game in 2020 here at home. It will be Monday night against another local team, Edward Waters College. That will take place coming up on Monday right here on ESPN+. Jason Glotti, what a performance. 36 points for the Flagler College Saints, and they win 73-66. For Nancy Miller and our entire crew, I'm Brent Martineau. Happy holidays, everybody. We'll see you Monday night on ESPN+, live from Jacksonville once again.